One. Welcome, we are playing Trophy. This is the incursion, the Forest of Blades by Leandro Pondoc. He's a nice guy. And we are going to jump right in, I think. So there is this forest that was the site of an ancient war. A war that continued for centuries. Some say it is still going, but the place that once housed towns and castles, great battlefields, is now a wilderness filled with blade-like trees and lost souls. No doubt countless of thousands of corpses and any treasures they might have left behind. We open on our forest, panning down from the aerial shot to the edge of the forest where our brave adventurers stand. Let us see Gregor. How do you look at the beginning of this journey? Perhaps you've already traveled far to reach this place.
Oh yes,
now,
yes. Gregor has.
Now it is.
Gregor Twinklebottle has. He has travelled far and wide to this place where supposedly one of the most epic battles where this have taken place, and he's tremendous. He's very excited, I'd say. But he has his travel gear on. It is somewhat fitting for a older fellow. Not too much, but enough for him to be able to carry. He's a bit frail-bodied, as you are with older age. But his spirit is very much there. So I'd say there are. If we think about it in a fantasy manner, then he would have there are some leftovers of this kind of academia in him, some codes, but not enough to hinder him very much when he walks among the trees. It's more and walks in the grass. It's more rather than a mantle. It's a cape to keep him warm. Good boots to walk in, and but still a very fine shirt and bright colors. He has done some excavations before, so he knows to get his way around. But I'm not sure if he's been on in these kind of forests before. I think more on already prepared excavation grounds more than much. Not touched ground.
And what about Farah?
I came a far way too. My family has been killed by Lord Harper. Lord Harper he has he's ruling over most of my country now with his undead army. He's a lich and he can't be killed. Except there needs to be a way to kill him. There needs to be some weapons capable to do this. I tried to protect my little brother, but I failed. So I lost my little brother too. There's just me left. So I made this journey to the only place where I could find these weapons. I need to find at least one weapon, and then I will have my revenge, and I will free my country from this tyrant.
Nice. And Nathaniel?
So right by the camp that Gregor and Farah have camped in, there's a small river that's running. It's not very big. It's probably big enough to row a boat if you were adventurous, but not very big. And this day is sort of coming to an end. It's the twilight has settled and it's getting dark, and there's a little bit of fog that's lying over this river. And as you're sitting next to the fireplace in your camp, suddenly you hear a sound from up the river. You hear someone singing, and you can hear him singing, heave away, 1, 2, 3, 4, we're bound for gold and glory. And as you hear this, you can see a small rowing boat coming out from the fog, and there's a person sitting in it all by himself. And at the front, there's no mast in this, obviously, because it's a small ship. But in the front is put up like a little stick, and at the top of the stick is flying a very tiny Jolly Roger flag. And this person is just rowing towards you. And as he comes closer, he notices your camp. So then he turns around and he looks up at you, and you can see this man sitting in the boat. He's like a middle-aged fellow, probably like 36 years old. He's got a very cliche eye patch and like a triangle pirate hat on top of his head, and he's dressed in a pretty much all black. And he moors his boat, and he gets out, and he starts walking up towards you, Gregor. And he comes up and he says, nice to meet you. I'm the infamous Nathaniel Burke. You've probably heard of me. No, in fact, no. Never mind. You've never heard of me. You've never heard of me, especially if the justiciars, lackeys, come asking you. Never heard of me. Okay, but I think since you're camped out here in the forest, I think we have a mutual goal. I'm going in there and I'm going to find the famed booty that's out there in the forest, and I'm going to get rich. Oh, a little bit rich anyway. Turns out I'd done some bad things back in my days, but I've got to pay off some dues and some bribes to get out of that, but some of that I'm going to be somewhat rich, hopefully.
All right, young lad. Well, we all have our burdens in life. Well, please join our campfire. Yes.
Oh, that's nice of you.
Very interesting to hear about your tale, so non-existent perhaps. But yes. Actually, this place you're going to will be full of riches, very much so. The riches not only in gold and silver, but also in the history and the theories, which I myself will prove by finding a very specific banner, the banner of the Lost Legion. Yes.
That's all very interesting. But can you tell me more about the booty?
Oh, right, well, it should be very close. Yes, you see, next to this banner, there should be some treasure because the lost legion, a very specific legion, did very many things. Among others, they were very specific, very autonomous group of people, and they weren't afraid of looting. You see, oh no, it was something which I mean, many of my lessons I've talked very much about. You see, and. And they used to loot and raid many of the villages they came past. So if we find a banner, there's a very good possibility that some of their loot could very well be still close to it. Yes, yes. Banner itself, very precious and very highly esteemed treasure of themselves. But clearly, for more simple-minded people, might be yes, indeed, some gold and silver there. Yes, quite so, quite so. Mm-hmm.
What is
So-
special about this banner?
Oh, this banner. A very interesting banner indeed. Quite the symbol of the Lost Legion. And we call it the Lost Legion because there's not many traces of them left. See, this is exactly why they came to this battle, but we don't know where exactly they are anymore. None of them returned from the battle, but it's been very hard to excavate this place. I've heard many people coming and trying to excavate, none return, probably because they weren't good at excavating, didn't find anything. Very strange, though. I haven't heard them about anything more about them ever since either. But well, who knows? But I think I should say that probably they're still alive somewhere, maybe, or not maybe alive, but maybe they are still hidden all of their treasures and creeds down there in this place, so they can come back sometime when the time is right to get both the loot and the weapons. And not only the banner, you see, is very important for me, yes, which proved my theory about them, but perhaps for your cause, there could be the specific, I think it is a sword, a very specific sword they raided when they raided in a famous temple of Tanaloth, I think it was, yes. Yes, and they brought with them a cross. There's some kind of cross, I think, cross-shaped blade or something like that. Heard recently, I heard it was also could be used as a fork because they could expand the size of this cross, and very much so, expanded to be such a big sword, a very potent weapon indeed. So yes, not only gold and silver and nice banners, but also weapons of many shapes and forms, I would say.
As you make camp here, your little fire burns. There's a lonely red light in a great darkness. Stars above still light up the forest. You can see the leaves rustling, whispering the names of lost soldiers. The moon trails across the sky. And soon dawn approaches. Who's awake in this moment of the first light of day?
I think I'm awake.
Nathaniel's probably sleeping off some of his whiskey from the last night, I think.
So Farah, how do we see you as dawn creeps up on the forest? Are you fully fully clothed and ready for the day. Are you on watch, perhaps? Or are you just barely waking up?
No, I've been awake most of the night. I haven't had proper sleep since years. I've become used to the state of insomnia.
You see someone observing you. You can see you see a glint of metal in the first rays of sunlight. It's some sort of armor. And once you look in their direction, you can see them more clearly. It's a woman in a uniform of sorts, a soldier, but they are clearly not in top shape. Their armor bears the sign of decay and disuse. What sort of what is it that tells you that this is a person, this soldier, is a part of a military tradition that is long since faded? Let's start with you, Espen.
So I think we can see that they have, outside of their armor, they're wearing some kind of like a tabard or some kind of markings in various places of their armor. That's covered with quite detailed, not logos, but like sigils, right? And these sigils, they look like they have a long history, a long heritage, going back for hundreds, perhaps thousands of years. You can just tell by looking at them that they have a history behind them.
You're on mute, Eine.
Sophie, do you have a detail for us about something that tells you how old this this military tradition is?
The armor itself seems strange to me. I've never seen something like this before, just maybe once in an illustration in a book. Right now, people are not fighting in these heavy armors anymore. There have been since lighter armors. These armors were just too heavy to make an efficient battle. But here it is, the person wearing this armor. The armor itself looks kind of rusty, as if it's just not in its best shape.
Yes, indeed, you can see one of the pauldrons is on the shoulder, is just barely hanging on. It's hanging loose. in front of the shoulder. Looks quite impractical. It's covered with rust. Nevertheless, as she sees you looking at her, she moves a bit closer with a firm grip.
Who's there?
She walks a little bit closer and you can see her face. She's worn. It's hard to tell how old she is, because from her from the first glance, you might have thought she was quite young, the age of a new recruit, 20, perhaps even younger, but you can see lines and folds in her face, wear and tear of time. And she is clearly somewhat taken aback at being addressed in this way. It looks almost like she's forgotten how to talk, or that it's just been a very long time. But eventually she responds. I am me of the shield of the forest. Declare yourself and your companions. What is your intent? Why are you here? You saw your camp. This is sacred ground you are trespassing on.
Sacred ground for who?
Don't you know about the war? The battle? The guards of Sunset? We are the last stand, the last defenders of Kalmander. The holy place. You can't come in here. You can't be here. It's not for civilians.
You look tired. Would you maybe like to sit down with us?
Would you like to do a roll here to see if you can persuade her?
Well, let's see. But I don't think I can make any roll because I don't have anything. No, there's nothing I can roll.
So, if you're not interested in sort of pursuing it, I'll just skip it. But you could get the devil's bargain, of course.
No.
So she looks sort of tempted for a moment, but then she jerks back upright and says, "No, I am on duty. You will not trick me into lowering my guard."
That's not a trick. That's an offer.
I know. The witches of the enemy, they are always tricksy. They disguise themselves, clothe themselves in kindness and beauty, but they are all rotten on the inside. I know. So many dead. So much betrayal. Blood. I will not be tricked. I'm the shield of the forest.
I think at this point, Nathaniel wakes up from his sleep. You hear some rustling in the tent, and you hear a voice just yelling out, "Stop with that noise! My head hurts." And then you see him, you kind of hear some more rustling. And you see him coming out of his tent with his bottle of whiskey in hand, just dragging his feet. And then he looks up at this person in armor, and he takes a double take. He rubs his eyes, and he's like, what was that? I must have had a bit too much to drink last night. What are you doing here? Why are you making such a ruckus?
Aha! So you reveal your true colors at last. You in league with this ruffian? Is this perhaps your slave? The one you would drink the blood of in the night in order to wield your dark magics? I know how to deal with the likes of you. Take out the slaves, you lose your power. And she charges.
Okay, I prepare my weapon. I have a sword. Just a normal sword.
Poor guy, he just woke up.
So you will intercede when this woman levels her spear at Nathaniel and charges.
Yes.
Good. Let's have a roll. Are you skilled?
Yes. I'm skilled in defending.
Nice. So take a white die. Because this is physical, this is basically combat. You should risk your body here. Do you want a devil's bargain?
No, not at the moment.
Okay.
I will just roll.
Roll away.
Okay.
Oh. Well. You can describe how you deal with this attack.
Well, against the spear, the best I can do is just to smash the spear. And then I will push her back and make her fall in the heavy armor. and put my sword to her throat, but not killing her.
She looks up at you with wide, frightened eyes, but they are determined. She swallows once. Says, "You'll never take me alive!" And she jerks her throat forward so that she impales herself on your spear or your sword.
All right.
And your corruption will increase by 1, since that was a dark 6, and I will give you a condition.
While you do that, I can go in. Then Gregor is woken up because obviously he also wakes up from the ruckus, especially when he can hear Nathaniel shouting as well. There's some fighting going on. Oh, good gracious me! What's all this ruckus about? I'm terribly sorry. Did I sleep too long? What is this? I think it's the first time he sees somebody having a throat impaled on a sword. What's going on here? This is highly inappropriate. I mean, we shouldn't go around killing each other. We should find treasures. What was it? And then he sees the clothing. The undead soldier. Oh, well, but a very strange shield maiden, surely. Yes, very, very accurate. But old. What is this lady doing? Well, it's certainly not. I mean, it's not time for reenactment of old periods, but this is, as far as I understand from the recording, this matches the descriptions of one of the armies here. Why would you wear something like that? Tell me, what happened here?
She was convinced for some reason that I'm a witch, and she attacked me. I tried to calm her down, but it didn't work. It seems that the madness has already got over her.
Yes. The sources do mention something about wars of religion, but why would you dress up like that and attack people? I simply don't understand. This is horrible. Maybe we should bury her somewhere. This is. No. Take it away, please.
I'll fix this. Og så tar han og plukker opp sorry. And then he picks up the body and he carries it over to the river. And he's like, I'll give her a proper pirate's burial. And he throws her into the river, and it's like barely 2 feet deep, so it just like sticks out of the river. And he just stands there saluting. Godspeed.
What is this? Yeah.
Nathaniel, what do you see on this corpse lying there beneath the flowing waters? That just stands out to you immediately as incredibly valuable.
I think as he throws this person with this rusty looking armor into the river, he throws her in, but she's not totally submerged because the river isn't that deep, so he can quite clearly see that the armor even though it's in parts rusty and old, it has a very exquisite detailing, and that detailing seems to be pure gold. And he's taken aback by that, because why would you wear pure gold on your armor? It's completely impractical. It's heavy. It doesn't protect you at all. It has to be for some ceremonial reason, but he doesn't care. So he jumps down into the river and starts to try and scratch it off with his blade. Oh, this is great. This is great, you guys. This is great. There's got to be more where this came from.
So, as you sort of scrape at these plates of armor, the gold, you can spend a long time just tearing out just one little rivulet of gold, but you see the pauldron. It's loose. It's, I mean, much quicker to just take it. You see it's one that's most densely covered with gold. Underneath the layer of rust, you can actually see now that it's been washed by the river. It's there's a jewel in it as well. It looks very valuable. It's an emerald.
So of course he sees this and immediately tries to somehow get this pauldron off the body and take it with him. And he just yells over to the other guys, Oh, seems like we've made the mother load here, guys. This is going to be great. I can't wait.
You tear off the pauldron, stumble backwards a little bit, and fall on your butt. And you can see beside your head, there's the hilt of a sword sticking out of the ground, planted there a long time ago, and you feel kind of lucky that you didn't fall on it. Would been pretty painful to fall straight onto it, but you can see that there's another sword a little bit further ahead, and then another, and another, as if they're just planted in the ground, like a path. And this,
guys, this might seem a bit strange to you guys, but seems like it's been a lot of people that's died over that way. There's swords all over.
What do you expect? It's a battlefield, for crying out loud. Why would you throw this lady into the river and then start to loot her armor?
Well, it's only right.
I think Gregor is he understands that maybe he's not joined the right company. Now he's a little bit too afraid if he's caught together with these two others, and other people come and see one lady's being killed, and he stands there with the other. He's afraid once more to be wrongly accused of something he believes he hasn't done. So all right, okay, let's go. Let's find more than that. Get away from here.
I want to have a look at the swords. Is there anything special about them? Maybe try to... they are sticking in the ground, did I get it right?
Yes, the
So I
hills
will
are
try to get it out and
just like
watch it.
this. Yeah, it's kind of hard to pull it out because it's quite deep in the ground. It's been there for a long time, and as you put a little bit more force behind your pull, you can feel the blade break. It's rusted, old. The steel is brittle. But you can see the pommel is beneath the rust and the grime. There is precious metals. There's a stone in the pommel. As the blade cracked, you also felt a sort of surge of power, an electrical buzz in your hand. Once this was enchanted with powerful magics used to fight the witches, perhaps. Tell me what you each think you know about this battle that was fought here, how it was ended, who lost, who won, if anyone. These are the things you think you know, things you have heard, rumors, beliefs, superstitions. Let's start with you, Sophie, if you have anything.
So in the battle, there was included one side which had undead servants. And these undead servants, they were well known to be almost invincible because they just could resist the short hits. So that is why the other side had certain weapons which were capable to kill these undead servants, and this is the reason why I hope to find these weapons at this place.
Yes, although these swords are old and their power has faded, you can feel that this is the type of weapon that you would need if you only can get your hands on something that hasn't been exposed to the elements for these last however many years. Eirik, what do you know about Gregor? What do you know about this battle?
Gregor knows from his studies that this battle took place over almost over a week, back and forth between different parties. But the main parties, as described by Farah here, was between the undead army conjured by this witch, the ones empowered by the witchcraft or some kind of necromancy. We're not quite sure what kind of technology or magic that was, and it's been lost ever since the party, ever since the battle, and that the one of the shields rised up to face that. They are more skilled in white magic, it seems, giving power to banish things, to reap the undead. But there are also two other parties who were fighting them. Most of them were fighting there first, as this was war between four nations. And it seems that those two parties that fought, one of them contained Gregor's ready or infamous Lost Legion, but they seem to have been in the midst of battle when the undead saw the sorcerers and witches came. And one suspects, because one don't know, it's impossible to escalate, and one suspects that most of them became victim to the undead or the witches, or the witches again was toppled by some protectors. There's mere loose theories and hypotheses, educated guessing based on the few survivors' statements and then whatever small things we could find outside, of course.
Yes, this is a place of much confusion in history, much debate, much disagreement. Nathaniel, what do you know about this place, or suspect, or believe?
So, for as long as anyone can remember, sailors have told tales of this place. Of this forest that's out on what sailors call the Fiery Peninsula. And the tales that are told, they tell of a massive battle, of huge armies clashing together but never being able to move the other armies an inch. It's a stalemate that was happening for hundreds of years. Until one day, one of the warring factions managed to cut a deal with the dragons. And from that day on, one could see huge plumes of fire standing out into the skies from the Fiery Peninsula. And from that day, the front lines, they started to shift, they started to move as the weight of the dragons pushed the soldiers around. But after a while, the other factions, they started to figure out how to slay the dragons. And once one dragon was slain, the witches, they managed to make them rise and fight for their cause. Until a while later, there was dragons fighting dragons of a ferocity that the world had never seen. And flames would be hundreds of meters into the sky from everywhere you could see. So sailors would steer way clear of this place. They didn't want anything to do with it.
This is, of course, why the battle was known as the Skies Asunder. The battle that tore the sky itself apart. Now those horrors are, of course, all just a part of history now. Now what remains is treasure, knowledge, weapons, and this path of swords. It leads you into the forest, towards the heart of the war. And as you follow that path lined with blades, your characters, you all think of the things that this forest, this battlefield has to offer for you. A deep knowledge of history, the fabled banner of the Lost Legion, treasure beyond imagining, gold and jewels and Dragon scales, perhaps. And the weapon. The weapon to forge your sweet revenge. This is where we leave the first ring. And we'll have a short break before the second one. You walk along this path deeper into the forest. And as you walk, you can feel your senses being limited. It's almost as if it happens from inside. It's so sort of subtle and all-encompassing, but it's just the forest and the slight fog, the canopy of trees obscuring the light, the leaves muffling sounds, and the ever-present smell of something. It's kind of hard to pinpoint at the moment, but it's a kind of dirt, metal, iron. Were it not for the path of swords, it would be hard to find your way. But you press on. The swords start to get farther and farther apart, and some of them are broken, barely visible. The horizon is close. It's only a few meters ahead of you. Trees occlude all vision. And then you come to the place where the next blade is not visible at all. And you find yourselves lost. But then, amid the subtle quiet of the woods, there's another sound, faint, but it's clear to you that it's someone moaning. It should be easy to follow. Is there... can't be far away. What do you do?
Do you hear that? It's some kind of a noise. It sounds like someone's moaning, but tell you what, doesn't sound right. I don't like it. It's something I think bandits might do. Try and trick us out of our way. Should be careful.
You sure it's not an actual person in need? I'm a bit curious.
I'll try calling out to him.
Well-
See if he replies. Oi! Oi, you out there! Can you hear us?
Hello! We're here to help! Right? Yeah. Hello!
There's nothing but silence.
I don't like that.
That's very strange. If me, I would cry out already to have them help me. But very strange. Yeah, I don't like it either. Miss Farah, what are you
Suddenly-
supposed to do?
There's a sound from a completely different direction.
It's coming from the other side. It's completely different direction. Oh, yeah, really.
It's gotta be a trick. It's gotta be a trick. But I think we gotta check it out.
Yeah, but what are we going to do? Do we get it one direction or the completely other direction? I don't understand. You're the navigator. Navigate something.
Well, I can look at the stars and tell you which way is north. I can't tell you if he's trying to rob us.
Do something. That Miss Farah, you know which way we should go. Which way?
Suddenly you hear the sound of marching, of several boots hitting the ground in rhythmic precision. It's somewhere behind you, I think.
Oh, that's not good. That's not good. They must have followed us here. They must have. Oh, I don't know. We can't go back. We gotta go forward.
I want to hide.
Okay. So,
Is there any place?
There, it's the forest. It's a pretty dense forest. So there are plenty of trees to climb or to hide behind. There's some undergrowth, some bushes. You might also find a place to hide in. But let's have a roll and see.
Can you turn yourself louder a little bit? I'm on my limit and I almost can't hear you anymore, Aina.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I don't know why. Oh, yeah, it was because I tried to fix the sound earlier. Okay, so Sophie, are you skilled at this? Or Farah, I should say.
I should
Good
be
at
skilled
hiding.
at this. Yeah.
Good. So one white die. You can have a black die if you want it.
No, I don't think. But maybe Devil's Bargain?
Yeah. So it's interesting here that so you're hiding, and it could be that you're rolling for the entire group. It could also be that you're rolling for or that your devil's bargain is that while you and one other is hidden, the third person will not be so lucky.
Yes. Sorry,
So,
whoever is this person.
I'm afraid you have to choose that.
I have to choose who?
Yes,
Maybe
unless they volunteer.
Let's make the roll first, or do I need to choose first?
Devil's bargain will happen anyway, so let's choose first.
Okay, so I guess it will be difficult to hide the pirate because he keeps just walking around and making noise, and yeah, so let's hide the historian together with me.
Alright, nice. So roll away.
Okay, around 4.
Yep. So you can say how you get Gregor and yourself into hiding.
So as far as I understood, Nathaniel was about moving forward. So I just did not say anything about it, but I just put Gregor and said, psst. And we go. I see a good spot because I'm really used to hide myself. A spot that is mold, and there are some bushes around and one tree, and we just get into this mold and we can watch through the bushes.
Right, Miss Harrow, right away.
So as you quietly slip into these bushes and you have a clear view of Nathaniel back on the road as the marching grows louder, closer. Farah, you can see this company of soldiers wielding with this shining armor, these uniforms that you have seen before, seen on the woman, the soldier outside the woods, but these are not soldiers with armor in ill repair and rusted skills and morale. They seem to be in their prime, with polished steel and determined looks. They march right onto Nathaniel. Nathaniel, you find yourself right in front of this squadron of soldiers. They just head straight towards you.
Nathaniel is just walking backwards while he's just holding his hands in front of his body, moving them backwards and forwards and shaking his head and saying, blimey guys, I swear I didn't have anything to do with that woman down river. I just I was trying to help. I was trying to help, is all. I was trying to help. I was trying to give her a dignified end.
Yeah, these soldiers, they look very official, much like the soldiers that have long hunted you for your life of piracy, and except for that, their uniform, you've seen many different uniforms, probably in different ports. But strangely, they seem to take no heed of your words. And before you know it, they're right on top of you. You just manage to sort of brace yourself to not be knocked over, but they pass by you on either side of you, marching steadily, never breaking rhythm, and as you see a look on their faces, you can see through them, through their skin and bone, flesh and brains. They are insubstantial, ghostly. And soon they are past you. But the final soldier, instead of passing beside you, passes right through you. And it's cold, it's electric, and most of all, you're flooded with memories of time long past, a war long past. Give me a ruin roll.
Okay. So my current ruin is 2, so this isn't going to be an easy roll. Ah, that's a 3.
You are lost for a second in this these memories that are not your own. You see the company move on. You're a step behind. You've lost formation, and you can see them move on without you. You need to catch up. You need to join the ranks. You'll be disciplined for sure.
And he sort of turns around and skips along and tries to get information as quickly as he can. Marching along with the rest of the soldiers.
Yes. You get in line, march in step. It's a relief. You thought you were gone there for a second. I'll give you a condition. Farah, you see Nathaniel join this rank of soldiers. And as you sort of peek through this bush, you can feel your hand catch on something sharp. It's a prick in your palm, and a sharp sting of a thorn. It's left there in your palm, the thorn. What do you do?
Pull it off, if possible.
Yes, you pull it out, and you can see a drop of blood seep out of the small wound. The drop of blood, it's silver, the color of polished steel. These bushes, they are not thorn bushes. There are no other thorns here anywhere. It's strange. Oh. Your companion has moved on. You're starting to lose sight of him, of Nathaniel. What do you do?
Miss Para, Nathaniel, he's leaving us. Whatever should we do? We can't leave him alone.
It was kind of strange how he just followed them, but we can try to follow them in some distance. Maybe there will be something we can do for him.
He must have understood something. I'm sure he's gotten a clue of something somewhere. Yes, good idea. Let's follow them on with a safe distance, of course. But otherwise, yes, let's do it.
As you get out of the bushes and follow Nathaniel, he seems to be walking, marching. At one point he gets lost in the fog, but then you see him again. There he is. He marches along alone. You don't really know what's going on. He seems captivated, as if in a trance. What do you do?
There's no sign anymore of the company?
No. They're gone, without a trace.
Nathaniel? Are you alright?
And Nathaniel raises his head slightly, as if he's heard something. He's trying to pinpoint where it's coming from. And then he hears you call out again, and he just turns around instantly, right towards you. And he pulls out. He's still got his cutlass on him, so he pulls out his cutlass, zing, and he holds it in front of him.
Wait, it's us. It's us. No
As he
danger.
walks straight towards you, and he says, "In the name of Lord Dragonheart, what are your intentions?"
Go to find you.
Halt! Stand still. And he walks towards you until he's just a couple of meters away from you. What are you doing here? You can't
Searching
be
for
here.
you. We are searching for you. Would you please lower your weapon?
I'll do no such thing. I'll be... Yeah, Lord Dragonheart he'll keelhole me. He's gonna... No. You come with me.
Nathaniel, we were just together a few minutes ago, don't you remember?
No. No, it's not true. I've been in the Dragonheart Legions for many years. I don't know you guys. Who are you?
Dragonheart Legion's been gone for centuries. I don't understand.
No, and he looks around. He's kind of confused because his entire detachment is gone. They were right here.
It seems they cast some kind of spell onto you. You just kept following this company.
The company, it's gone.
Come to your mind.
I don't. Listen, you haven't tried to kill me right away, so you can't be one of them. Help me find my detachment. Lord Dragonheart he'll repay you greatly.
Yeah.
All right, let's try to find them.
Excellent. And he lowers his cutlass back into his seat. Well, I'm Nathaniel.
I'm Farah. Nice to meet you.
Nice.
Again.
Nice to meet you.
Great Twinkle Bottle, once again very happy to be acquainted with you, Nathaniel.
And Nathaniel, you know the way to your camp. It's close by, just through the little copse over there, over the hill, and you're there. Your encampment where the rest of the Legion is stationed. It's safe, of course. Your Legion is strong. You've never been defeated. You have the dragons with you. The dragons in your hearts. The dragon's blood in your veins. What you do?
So they set off and they start marching towards this camp. It's probably like half an hour's walk until they get there, and after it's gone a little while, they start to see the smoke of the camp above the trees ahead of them. And Nathaniel turns around and he says to Gregor and Farah, thank you. It's sorry I tried to apprehend you earlier. I'll try and talk it out with the guys. Okay.
Take care of yourself. I still have the feeling that something's not right with you.
What do you mean? I'm perfectly fine. I'm a soldier of the Dragonheart Legion. I've never been better.
Well, if you're convinced about this, then just go and check.
Right. And he turns around and he starts walking towards the camp, and he sort of like waves that you should follow.
And you see there the battlements, or the palisade, I should say. It's a kind of fort constructed out of heavy tree trunks, but it's black, charred. In other places, rotten, fallen over. There are bodies everywhere, or should I say husks of armor with all the leather rotted away, some bones, skeletons. They all bear the sigil of the Dragonheart Legion.
What is this? Son of a biscuit eater! I can't believe it. And they just starts running into the camp. Johnny, what happened? It's trying to find someone who's alive.
And the camp is ruined. There's corpses everywhere. It's as if they were all wiped out a long time ago. Nothing makes sense. Everyone is not just dead, but long dead, seemingly forgotten by anyone and everyone. Why haven't anyone given them a proper burial? They just lie there on the stones, on the ground, clutching their broken swords. Give me a ruin roll.
Yeah. So my current ruin is 3. Let's roll. Ruin roll is 2, so that's okay.
Nice.
You get back to your senses. Wishful
You
thinking.
snap out of it, Nathaniel. There's something about this disconnect that brings you back to the now, to yourself. You still have these memories, this feeling of this other identity. You were or are a part of the Dragonheart Legion, but you are also Nathaniel, a reformed pirate. You can also see the encampment, Farah and Gregor, and you see that it is clearly abandoned, but it might be a good place to camp, good place to take shelter, rest, and maybe the bodies here have some treasures, loot. Maybe there are some more intact weapons, or even some books. Maybe the annals of the Dragonheart Legion are still hidden somewhere here.
Okay, I would start to look at the corpses, especially at the weapons.
Yes. You look at the corpses that are piled up outside the walls, outside the palisade here, or the ones inside.
And I look at everyone who has this kind of sword.
Yeah, So you just go through them methodically. Let's have a roll here. Would this be something you are skilled in?
Well, I'm looking out. And by the way, enduring I have 2. Just in case something happens.
Do you want the Devil's Bargain?
Sure.
So you're going to cut yourself on one of the blades.
It's okay, I'm used to this. I will take it.
Okay, so roll your dice.
Double 4.
Okay, so so as you search through these piles of bodies, soldiers, there's a great pile of bodies just lumped up against the side of one of the walls. It's like they were tossed there by some tremendous force, and you get the sense that maybe if you dig through them, if you dig down to the one on the bottom, it will be preserved, as it hasn't been in contact with the air, and you stick your arm down, you feel a sharp pain. It's cut down your forearm by a blade that is still clearly quite sharp. But this blade, it is also seemingly mostly intact. And there's a slot in its hilt that would maybe house a kind of jewel, but it's gone. Maybe this blade, if it was if you could find a jewel that would fit it, maybe it would regain its former power.
I wanted to take the other one with me. I haven't told you. Just a grip I had from the broken one. Don't know if you will allow it, that I have it.
No, that's fine. So that one had a jewel still there. What you do?
Well, I take the blade I just found out there, and I will just get a little out of the corpses and make some space and compare the two and see if it seems possible for me to remove this jewel to the other blade.
Yes. Looks like it would fit. You just need to pry it out and then stick it in to the other blade.
Then let's just try.
So you pull out a small dirk or something and just pry at this jewel, and eventually it comes out. You catch it, and it's deep verdant green. When you hold it in your hands, it's as if electricity is tingling your fingers. You're about to place it into the hilt of the other sword when you hear a voice. Why do you seek the powers of the dead? Why do you steal from those who have lost everything?
Who's there?
You turn around and you see a small figure, hooded and cloaked. It looks like a very old man, perhaps, old woman. His voice is kind of high-pitched, but so deformed and croaking that it's hard to tell. You can't see their face. It's hidden, but they're hunched over. The dead. The dead still want their respect. Dead still treasure their possessions, their dignity. Who are you to take it from them so lightly?
Someone who seeks revenge for a lot of deaths. I'm pretty sure they are fine with it. And who are you?
I am one who would know better than most what the dead want. And then they fade away. Their cloak falls to the ground like a lifeless pile of rags. You can see the stone, the jewel. It's slotted perfectly into the sword, but the sword is still devoid of energy. And it makes you sad somehow, just to hold it. You spend some time here in this encampment, among the bodies of countless dead soldiers. It's surprisingly peaceful and quiet. And soon you're tempted to sleep, to rest. The day, whether it's been a day or not, you don't really know. There's not enough light to really tell, but it feels appropriate to sleep somehow. Nathaniel, you fall asleep here among the corpses of your fellow soldiers. Gregor, you go to sleep here among the remnants of history. And Farah, perhaps you don't go to sleep, perhaps you stand vigil, I don't know. But you have in your possession now a weapon that is somehow less than what you imagined it to be. It's not yours, not fully. It will not listen to your commands. But perhaps there is a way to earn it. Perhaps if you can only learn more about these soldiers in this war that they fought so long ago. There we will end the second ring, and we'll continue with the third soon. You wake up, or perhaps you're already awake. It's faint. It's faintly brighter outside now. Nathaniel, you wake up with a weight on your shoulder and someone resting on your shoulder. A helmet askew. It's a corpse, of course.
And Nathaniel, he sort of like opens his eyes as he comes about, and he just turns his head over and looks straight into the eyes of this corpse. And he just jumps back and he's like, "Oh, they blow me down. What is this?" And he just gets up and he looks around and he sees all these bodies lying around, and he's just reminded that, I don't like this place.
Oh, and the corpse that was resting on your shoulder, its head falls off as you stand up, and it rolls around on the ground, ending up face up, looking at you, its mouth gaping open, its big dark holes, looking up at you, staring up, dead. So very dead. It's time to move on from this place. It's doesn't feel so calm, restful anymore. What do you do?
I think Nathaniel, he looks over the body real quick for any loot, and then he, after he's done looting, he walks over to Gregor and he's like, "Oh yes, well, I don't like this place. It's like they're looking at us. The bodies. It ain't natural. It's weird."
Yes, yes. And Gregor is a little bit busy. Seems like he found some boxes of documents, unimaginably well preserved for a place would otherwise seem, after his experience. These bodies seems to at least have been here for not 300 years to more. Very, very, very stark contrast to the very living army they saw first, but he's been very, very interested in getting the notes here, because something must have happened. This could be the key to what he's been searching for. And, although he thinks to himself that look, it's not a camp, it's more like a tomb. He finds a real book, but it seems to have been put there in the last minutes before battle. Yeah, he opens it up, and it's in old Fireland language. Seems to be some sort of people of the dragon. Those who used the legions would use. Was it dragon hearts? Very off character. Yeah, dragon hearts. It's a long log of continuous fight, going back and forth, giving positions about themselves, the enemies. This is that while the Dragonhearts are being captured, not captured, but they're surrounded. They lose more and more ground. They're getting cut off. They have us surrounded. Cannot get out. Small fainted ink. They are coming. Makes him very curious. What happened here? Very much, but he agrees with Nathaniel that perhaps won't find much more, only that they were destroyed by someone. But who could they be? He gets deep into thought before he thinks once again, and comes up with, perhaps, most likely due to his own wishes, perhaps it was, yes, the Lost Legion were never a part of the Dragonhearts. Could it be them? Could they be right by? Yes, they could be nearby. Oh, yes, yep. We should search the surrounding areas. Anything, any proof we can, any sort of trace we can find of them would be great. And of course, he hides this a little bit because he understands that Nathaniel is very much afraid of what's going on. So he agrees and smiles and says, "Yes, let's keep going. I think it's better not to stay here for too much longer."
And as you move on, the forest begins to thin out. Soon you can see the sky in its entirety, and what looks like a field stretching far out. There's a hill. And on top of the hill is a house. It's a house of many stories. It looks somehow friendly. It's an inn. Yes, it's an inn. It's welcoming, very welcoming to you. Specifically to you. Gregor, tell us why this inn feels like a bit like home to you. What is it about this inn that reminds you of your home, of good days in the past?
Was it Gregor you said? Or was it? Is it?
Yes, Gregor.
The house seems, building style seems very old. It's very familiar. Reminds of anything of what they used to have in the old days, but he recalls discussing the exact architecture with a colleague back here once in a day, and unfortunately that was a discourse that didn't go very well. The architecture was the foundation for what he believed to be one of the cities that were raided by the Lost Legion for long ago. But since there's very few traces of the Lost Legion, it's very hard to prove anything. And him and another colleague very often debated this, but they became more and more confrontive. Or get along very well in the end. Very, very bitter. Very, yeah. Although they should be colleagues, they were less and less collaborating, but more and more getting into hard arguments and never really listening to each other anymore, but just speaking their own opinions between over each other's heads almost. It's just like they didn't listen to the other party at all. And but he still remembers the place as something, where he had some fond memories, where the architecture, alas, he remembers the good times they had together, the good times they used to discuss this, and before it all happened, before one day, right before they were to deliver a big project, he thought he had. This colleague came to Gregor and told him that basically had undeniable proof that the Lost Army didn't exist that day. It was just not an urban legend, but the legend's just a wandering story they used to tell each other, between the campfires, just to have something to talk about, or like some sort of mythical a myth, nothing more. At least that's what he said. But Gregor, remember, he must have been wrong. No, this was not to be the case. He's obviously lying. He must have forged something. Obviously, I found something. It says obviously it's wrong, and Gregor remembered hardly what he did that night, only that he found himself the torch in his hands, and in front of him the building of his colleague, all in flames, and all the papers with it. He couldn't do much about it. He was taken, arrested. He said he had the torch in his hand, but he didn't remember anything what happened. He only remembered the one thing where that matters, and that was that it was true. The Legion did exist, and his colleague, he was sure was alive. He shouldn't be there at all. He was telling he was going somewhere else that day, anyways. Until they found his ashes. Ruins of that house. Because he lost his title, career, and anything but his faith. And that banner of the lost nation. You can only find that. You can prove to everybody that at least in this, he was right. Turns around.
This house. This house. It is remarkable. It's exactly like the one that burned down. And as you look up on its doors, its windows, you can almost imagine seeing him there, Francis, your colleague, seeing the light that he always used to read by up there in the third floor window. It's there right now. There's a flickering light in the third floor window, exactly where it should be, exactly where he would be sitting, poring over his notes, his theories, his obviously false theories, but well, he was a scholar of sorts. Anyway, and his wife did always make a good meal. You can smell it now. Actually, the roast fowl. It's exactly like the one that Frida used to make. Oh, if there was one regret after the house burnt down, was that you would never again taste that. Oh, that's wonderful, perfectly roasted fowl. But it's there. Oh, you can taste it on the air. It's there. It's a meal for all of you, your friends. You can show them now. Now's the time.
Yes.
Door is open.
Obviously, Gregor was right. Francis wasn't there in his house when it burned out. Obviously, it was someone else. It was somewhere else, and clearly, he's been here all the time. The smell is distinct. It must be Francis there, and he's horrible man, really. But there is something good in him, and he knows that. He's been spending a lot of time with him, although it's terribly on the wrong track. And his wife, Frida, so lovely, and and Gregor can feel his stomach already rumbling. Yes. Miss Farah, Mr. Burke, we come to exactly the right place. I know this. This is the house of a good colleague of my friends. Yes, very much so. You like food and everything, and most likely some answers maybe not right answers, but something that can lead us to the right place. We want to go. Come, let's go. I lead the way. I know exactly where to go. Third floor at the window. There it is.
Oh, that looks like the sorriest place filled with scallywags and scurvy dogs I ever saw.
Oh, he's a sorry fellow. I say that, but
But I like it. Let's go.
Very good, very good. And yeah, I think Gregor just pushes him in. Come on now, don't be shy. Frida's such a nice girl.
As you enter this place, you can feel the smells of cooking, of wine being consumed. They wash over you. Nathaniel, what is it that strikes you as you enter this this place? What fond memories does it evoke?
This place, it's filled with joy and laughter and people sitting down, banging their cups on the table and having a good time with each other, drinking ale and rum, and it just reminds him of the days he was out with his crew on the Santa Rosa, on his ship. It just reminds him of the days that they had put to port, and they were finally able to just lower their shoulders a little bit, stop running from the Justiciar's lackeys that were just hounding them all over the world. And it just gives him a warm, good feeling inside of peace, calm, and security.
And who did you used to go there? Who did you party with? Who did you spend your loot with?
So there was this one woman in one of the ports. She was called, not by any coincidence, she was called Rosa. The ship was named after her. And every time Nathaniel came back to this port, he visited Rosa and told tales of all the travels that he'd done. He would buy her new dresses and loads of food and drink. And whenever they were in town, they would just party all day, all night for a week at a time until they finally left and headed back out to the sea.
Yes, and this place, this inn, it's full of exactly those kind of sounds and smells. There are ale mugs hanging from the roof above the bar. Great kegs of ale, smoked meats, tables and low chairs, and tight crowds. Oh, this place could be made lively if you but had some of your pirate friends here and fill up some of those mugs with ale, and it's almost like you can see Rosa standing there in on the staircase, walking down to greet you after you come home after a successful raid. The memories. Farah, as you come into this this house, this many-storied house, you can see your companions. They are eager. Their faces are filled with joy as they take in the surroundings, the sights, the smells. What is it that you picture here? Something from your past, something happy.
My parents were having an inn. Of course, it was far in the south. I've come hundreds of kilometers, or maybe even more. The architecture was different, but they had an inn on a hill, and this was just where I was growing up, and there was always good food and always good smells. Me and my brother, we could always eat until we were full, and my parents were happy until I was 10 years old when the armies came, and then we had to flee and just leave behind this paradise and live a life as refugees until they got us and killed my parents.
You recognize this staircase. If you walk up there to the left, 1, 2, 3 doors down, you would find it the room where your family slept in the inn. It's the desire to go up and check if maybe they're there, you know. If you just walk up, is there's
This can't be, but I want to check anyway.
You go up the stairs. Your hand brushes the railings, and it feels exactly the same. Exactly that same polished wood with the rough edges, as if someone had carved them with a knife. And the hallway, it's all taking you back. It's even the carpet. You remember the strange kind of frills on one side, where it looked like it had the carpet wasn't completely finished. On one side it was soon completely smoothly, but the other was small threads had been pulled out, perhaps by a cat, and it's there, that exact same thread and the exact same little loop. Do you remember?
It's just as impossible. This can't be. How can this be here?
You open the door. And you see him. Your father sits by a desk. Looks like he's writing a letter exactly as you remember when you walked in that time so long ago, and you know your mother would be in the corner, just right there next to the door, reading a book. You look over. She's hidden behind the book, her face.
Mother? Is it you?
She lowers the book and there she is. Her face breaks out in a smile. Farah!
Mother! Mother, I don't... I just want to embrace her.
She stands up and welcomes your embrace. Oh, Farah, what's gone into you? Did something happen downstairs? You just went. Was the bar okay? You just wanted to check it out, didn't you?
The whole world seems to have gone to war, and here you are.
Yes, of course I'm here, Farah. Always be here. Always be here. I'm your mother, Farah. I'll never leave you. She pats you on the head, and you're so small, you know. It's so comforting that her hands, they just fit around your head, so you feel so safe. She grabs your shoulder and squeezes it. Looks down at you. Now, where has your brother gone to? Where is he?
I don't know.
You don't know? Well, you're his sister, aren't you? You're supposed to watch over him, right?
I guess I must have got lost. I must have lost him. You know, he's always running around. It's just I can't look around him all the time. I'm sorry, Mom, I'm sorry.
Farah, you can't ever lose him. And then you hear sudden noises. Your father slams his fist into the desk. He stands up and he points out the window. He looks at you with tears streaming down his face. Stricken look. And he screams, Farah, look what you've done! Look! He points out the window insistently. Look, Farah!
I will look.
Your mother releases you silently as you walk towards window, the world seems to expand around you. You become smaller and smaller, and then you look out the window into the street below. You see the soldiers, the patrol. They're laughing raucously. They're lifting something up, a limp body. And they hold it up, shaking it. Can barely hear what they're saying. They're just screaming and laughing, punching each other in the shoulder.
It wasn't me. I haven't done this. I swear, Father, I haven't done this. I did not know.
Give me a ruin roll.
One.
Oh, so you see, there's something wrong here. This isn't what happened. This isn't how it happened.
No, I know what happened because I was actually, after my parents died, taking care for my brother for several years until some soldiers killed him. So this is not how things could have happened.
Yes, you know, this must be some kind of mirage, and when you look to your mother and to your father, they're no longer there. The only thing that's there is your room. It's still eerily familiar, but it's not the same room. It's, you know, the desk isn't. It's slightly wrong. The bed, that it was definitely different.
We use other stone to make the walls too. In my country, the walls are made of, don't know the English word, well, of stone, but here it's wood. It's not the same.
This inn, it holds many memories for all of you. Do you ever lingered here too long? Outside on the field, the mists gather, and dead bodies rise to form companies, to form legions, lining up to fight their war. Another night, another battle in this endless conflict. This is where we end the third ring, and we'll come back soon. What? We are in the fourth ring, and around you, the dead are waking up. There's a battle going on all sides of this inn. Clashes of armies, vast companies of dead soldiers. And there's a battalion laying siege to the inn. You can hear footsteps around the building and the door. There's a pounding as if someone's trying to break through. And this is not a fortified position. They will break through any moment. Where are you at the moment, Gregor?
Gregor had first he had feasted on the fowl or the meat, but then he was a bit curious to see how Francis perhaps would have carried out his research. So he's up in the third floor, actually searching through whatever he can find there. Not seemingly finding what he wants. It's different from what he remembers.
Yes, and there's no Francis. There's no candle. It's a dark room, and you can see outside a window instead of familiar streets. What you see is a moving field of you can see torches, pinpricks of light, and soldiers marching, clash of steel upon steel, shouts, battle cries, screams of pain, and then crash. Something is hit the window and broken it. It wraps in a shower of glass. Your face is scarred by flying glass. And something hits the ground, hits the floor in front of your feet hard. It's a body. And it starts to move. Turns around. It reaches for you. Reaches for its weapon. You can see it has a sigil on its chest. A sigil of... Could it be? This is a symbol you've put together in your notes. It's never been identified, but it's associated with the Lost Legion. Let's have you roll to defend yourself against this monster.
I am not skilled in defense.
No. We have a dark die, devil's bargain.
Yeah, I can do devil's bargain.
So, are you trying to say something, Espen?
No, I'm just rehearsing.
You will hate me, but you will lose a hand, but defend the rest of you if you succeed.
So you will escape, but you will lose a hand.
Okay. Okay, yeah, fine.
Excellent.
I hate myself now.
I like the way you think, Sophie. This is the spirit of Trophy.
Oh,
Devil's Bargains.
fine.
So, all right. So you can you are going to escape this soldier here, this undead, but you are going to well, I mean, let's just describe it to you since we're short on time. So you you jump away and you slam, reach for something to hit the monster with. There's your hand locks around a tome, a book that's on the desk where the candle of Francis Kraken ought to be. Instead, it's a book, and you fling it down. And it hits the head of this monster. And,
Away with you, foul creature!
the head falls off the body, and you breathe in relief. But then it chops down with its sword. Your hand is gone, and the monster keeps coming. You back away and fall down the stairs. Nathaniel, you hear Gregor fall down the stairs as you're in the main room here in the tavern, and you see the door being pounded on.
Yeah.
What do you do?
He's sitting by the tavern bar and enjoying a glass of whiskey. And as he hears the banging on the door, he gets worried for a second. But then he hears Gregor fall down the stairs, and he turns around. He gets up and runs over to help him out, to help him get up. So he runs over and tries to pick him up by his hand, by his arm. Where, Gregor, what's going on? Yeah, we need you.
Oh, Nathaniel, this horrible living dead person. I took off his head, but he cut off my hand. Look at his eye, all the blood. Oh.
There's more of them out there. He turns around and he points to the door. They looks like they're going to be coming through any moment.
This might sound strange, but I do believe I've never seen this sigil before. It could be that this is something unheard of in any battle. Maybe we're saved. Maybe even doomed. I don't know anymore.
No time, Nathaniel says, and he gets up and he picks up one of the bar chairs and he smashes it against the bar. He takes some of the planks and he runs towards the door and he yells to Gregor, "Come on here, help me bar up this door. We gotta stop him from getting through."
Oh, okay.
And you try to grab for some planks, Gregor, but the stump of your hand just sort of hits the planks. It hurts. There's blood everywhere. Give me a ruin roll.
Okay. My ruin is 3.
I think it's me, isn't it?
Yeah, that's Gregor.
Oh,
Your
sorry.
hand is still fine, Nathaniel. But you can get ready to give me a risk roll for the barring of the doors here.
Sure.
So think about whether you have any
Okay.
skills. So if you can think about Devil's Bargains for Espen if you want. You are okay, Gregor? All right. You can see on your character sheet that you have got a condition for the last roll, right? Your ruin increased there. I don't know if you remember to.
Yeah, I did.
Think
I only
about,
had 2. So
Yep. Good. So, any devil's bargains for Nathaniel?
he might be able to block the entrance of basically the door from being completely opened, but one spear pieces through and stamps in the left shoulder.
Take that.
Yeah, I can take that. And I don't have any particular skills, so that's gonna be one white
Dark
and
die
one
and
dark.
yes.
Alright, let's see. Ooh, that's bad.
Yeah. So you try to shore up this door with your planks, but and you try to brace them against the ground, and there's a sudden cracking noises. The door just inches open, and the spear comes stabbing through. It hits you right in the shoulder. You back away in agony, and then a second later, and the door bursts open. There's a flood of soldiers is pouring through this door. You can see you're going to be surrounded at any moment. Farah, you're
Come up to me. I have a plan.
yeah. So you can hear Farah's voice from upstairs. Farah, you see your friends run up towards you, injured. What do you do?
What's about the? Well, I don't know if it was an undead which attacked Gregor. Is it still moving or is it just lying?
The one that attacked Gregor is still in Gregor's room, I guess, or we don't know what happened to that one, but Gregor got away from it. You're not
Okay,
in
so
the
it's
same
not.
room, so
It's not important. Okay. Well, I will. I'm in the room where my parents were, and I prepare to use a ritual, but I wait until my companions are in. I will try to protect this door.
So Nathaniel and Gregor, you follow Farah's voice and burst into the room with a massive undead shambling, running after you. Farah, give us your ritual.
So it's a ritual is ward. Stay concentrating to protect a small area. So I imagine it like she's making a kind of spiritual big shield, and you will use this to protect the door against attacks and against fire too.
So it's a dark die. You want the devil's bargain?
Yes.
So this is going to trap you for quite a long time.
Yes. Take it.
Okay. So you have your dice. Roll away.
It changed.
Oh. Yes, that looks good. Describe how this protects you. How this looks.
So I just stand right in front of the door and I hold my arm as if there was a shield on it, and there is some energy going from the arm. There's nothing visible, but I just standing concentrated like this, and there's kind of sensation in the air that something is changing, and the kind of cracking in the wood of the door, just showing that there's a changement going on.
Yes, and nothing comes true. Some time passes. Some of you probably go to the window to look out, and you can see the great battle take place out there. The armies moving back and forth, conquering, reconquering, withdrawing, and then advancing again. This endless battle, where the corpses that mount up until there are no living or no moving soldiers left. You are there the entire night, watching this battle unfold. The banners rise and fall, and then when everything is unmoving corpses, you find yourself trapped. The spell, Farah, it worked too well. It's trapped you. You're unable to open the door or the window, and you sit and watch the sun and its faint light move across the ground, across the battlefield, until it sets and you see the dead start moving again, forming into companies, battle lines, and the entire battle unfolds yet again. And
It can't stay eternally. It's not possible. Somehow, somewhere, this will fade.
you keep telling yourself that as the days go by, as you watch the battle unfold. There's a sense of panic after the first days after the water runs out. You are overwhelmed by the sense of thirst, the feeling that you are going to die at any moment. Give me a ruin roll, everyone.
I have enduring. Does it help?
Enduring? No, this is not a risk roll, so a skill would not do anything. So let's go. Are you ready to roll? Let's do Gregor and Nathaniel and then Farah, just so I don't get confused. Gregor, ready to roll?
You're on mute in case you want to let us take part in your cursing.
Yeah, well, too bad. I got a 6, so this hits Gregor hard.
Yes, increase your ruin. Nathaniel?
Yeah. Roll. Ooh, it's a success.
Did you roll the dark die or?
No, sorry, I rolled one of the white dice, but I rolled a 1.
Okay. All right. Farah, roll us.
Ah, that's fine.
Yeah. So Nathaniel and Farah, you are incredibly thirsty, but you realize that somehow you are fine. It doesn't hurt you. It's an unpleasant sensation, to be sure, but you're fine. Gregor, however, is not fine. You start to claw at walls, hurl your body against the door, try to beat the window, try to shatter it with your forehead. You're bleeding so much. The blood, you can't lose any more liquid. You have to lick it all up. Some more days pass. Gregor, you're reduced to a sort of lump on the floor. You lie in your own blood, trying to preserve what little liquid there is left. Nathaniel and Farah, you can feel pangs of real hunger. You haven't eaten in days. Has it been weeks? Give us a rune roll.
Oh, again.
So, Farah, go first.
Yes, I'm fine.
Right. And Nathaniel.
Okay. I'm very much not fine.
Oh.
Nathaniel, you need to eat. This is ridiculous. You can go without water maybe in this strange magical state, but food? Well, you have to eat. There's no choice. There's meat. There's meat in this room with you.
He's just...
What do you do?
He's just thinking of the great times they had with the crew. With the crew of the Santa Rosa in the tavern, eating this delicious, savory steak. Oh, that was such a good steak. Great steak. Piping hot. So delicious. And then he looks over at Farah's leg. That looks delicious. And he just, in one instant, he just jumps over Farah, grabs a hold of her leg, and just tries to.
What in devil's name are you doing?
You wouldn't.
Keep your fingers off from me.
No.
Get control over yourself.
You wouldn't understand him. I'm so hungry. I'm so hungry. I have to eat.
Get control over yourself. This is ridiculous.
And then he just digs into her leg. That's how
I will draw my sword. Get away from me. Get control over yourself.
Farah, give us a roll. You have a skill?
Yes, I have defend.
Nice. You definitely have a dark die. You want a devil's bargain?
If you have the suggestion, yeah.
So you will successfully fend off Nathaniel, but only by severely hurting him.
Okay, no problem. Yeah.
Give
Is
us
that
roll
a
then.
devil's bargain? Of course.
Well, I won for.
So you scream as Nathaniel bites into your flesh. You had hesitated for as long as possible, but no more. You slash down, Nathaniel. You recoil as half your face is gone from your nose down to your chin. You're still hungry, but this is probably the last time you will ever eat. You have where your lower jaw used to be, there's now just a gaping wound, and your breath comes out in bloody splatters. Nice. Weird noises, rattling comfortably. It's hard to even imagine how you would look now. Are you even human anymore? Give me a ruin roll.
Oh boy. Sure. Okay, that's equal to my ruin, so that's good, right?
Somehow you muster the strength of will to keep standing. Farah, you can still feel the marks of Nathaniel's teeth on your cough.
I didn't mean that. Take care of your wounds. And just stay away from me.
Nathaniel just looks up at you with huge deer in headlight eyes, and he seems to try to say something to you, but all you hear is just
Give me a ruin roll, Farah.
Ha! I'm fine.
There's something about this almost too horrible to be true. This situation, it's just absurd.
It's just the same absurd, just like my parents and my brother. It was not true, so why should this be true?
And
I
it
will wake
breaks
up
you
from
out.
this dream.
That's exactly what happens. Your spell is over. You can see the door open. The path is clear. You can move on to ring number 5. And as we are short on time, we will just move straight on. Nathaniel, Gregor, and Farah. It is eerily quiet in this inn that has been your home for the past however long. But there's something outside in the fields. You can see a light on the other side. It's like a banner. It's glowing, shining, and the field is clear. What do you do?
Gregory is weakened, delirious, but for some reason the banner seems to be that of which he saw on the undead, something he's never seen before. But it all makes sense. Everything he's read up until now, hints at this. It is the banner. He's certain it is the banner, the fallen banner of the nameless, of the fallen army. Yes, that is it. That is what he's been searching for. Oh, how at the very end he will find what he's looking for. Maybe this is the key to his salvation, the key to everything. And he humps and walks a little bit like he's having trouble because of the loss of blood and everything. But he's
I told you me.
Right there.
We will go there and see.
You make your way across the field of battle. You walk past corpses, now still, clutching weapons in their hands, clutching their wounds, staring up at the merciless sky. But there it is, in front of you, the light, the banner flapping in the wind. The banner of the unknown legion. Nathaniel, you feel a sense of hope, pride. This is your banner. This is the banner of your company. You are part of the elite.
Yes, this is what he came here for. After all, he came here to recover the banner. To recover the banner for the company. It must be true. Must be true. So he sees Gregor and Farah walking towards the banner, and then he just seizes his chance and he runs forward, pushes Gregor to the side, almost knocking him over, and running forwards, trying to grab the banner and take it back.
Gregor, you see this. You see Nathaniel sprinting towards the banner and push you aside. What do you do?
He gets desperate. Gregor is desperate. This is so close to the truth, but why is Nathaniel? Why is he pushing him away? This makes no sense. Why? Oh no, that pirate scum! He just planned it all along, didn't he? To take that, the sacred, the highly important, the only one, the banner of the fallen ones. He's supposed to take it and sell it away for a petty silver. No! And he gets totally enraged and carries off and tries to, although very unrealistically, gathers his powers and runs after him, quickly trying to grab him by the leg so that he falls over.
Right, give us a risk roll.
Okay.
So you'll have a black die. I think that's it, probably.
Yeah, that's it. Two.
Yes, so you run and you stumble almost right away. You grab for Nathaniel's leg, but you grab with your stump instead of your hand. And Nathaniel runs up. You see him run up to the banner, and he grabs it, grabs the pole. He looks triumphant. He turns around, you can see his face. It's why didn't you see this before? It's Nathaniel. It's not his real name. That's a disguise. It's a farce. Of course, this is Francis Kraken, your rival. He's always wanted to destroy things for you, to ruin your reputation. What do you do?
Gregor becomes infuriated. Francis, all the time. Not only do you try to put lies against me, but when I have the proof, you dare to take it from me? No. Forevermore you shall lie here and sleep with the dead. And he reaches out with his remaining arm to cast with his ritual. Sleep.
Oh no.
Ooh. Nice. Give us a roll for that. A black die. And,
Yeah. One white die, was it? Or sorry.
do you have a skill?
No, unless I am, of course, skilled in disputation. So
Let's go with the black die then.
yeah. Three.
So you reach for your arcane powers after your spell. But the spell, it requires certain gestures, don't it? Gestures it is impossible to correctly replicate with just one hand. And the magical energies, they fizzle out. And you can see a part of your life force that you used to cast its spell. It leaks out of you like a piece of black tar out of your stump. Hits the ground and it wriggles around a little bit, screams in agony, and then pops out of existence. There's a figure there besides Nathaniel, small, clad in a cloak that disguises its head and face. It speaks out. Oh. Magic. Delicious. But so weak. So weak. You think you're last soldier standing, do you? The last soldier of the unknown company. Have you come here to defeat me at last, to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat?
Is he talking to Nathaniel?
Yes.
So Nathaniel just turns to this character, and you can see Nathaniel. He looks kind of weird. His head is almost cleaved in half. His lower jaw is just completely gone, and you can see his the only thing that remains of his lower jaw is his tongue just sticking out, pointing down. So he tries to, as well as he can, to answer back this person. And he says, who are you? This is mine. I've I've come so far. I'm not gonna let you take this away from me. Not now. It's too late. It's too late for that.
Wow. This is good, Nathaniel. This is very good. It's good that you've learned to be realistic. It's good to see you again as well. I've missed you. Missed you, Nathaniel. The figure stands up. It grows, stretches out, and lowers its hood. Looks at you. Its familiar blue eyes. It's Rosa.
No. It can't be. Why are you here?
I've always been here, Nathaniel. And Rosa reaches out to your face, strokes you from the forehead down your cheekbones, and looks into your eyes. This is what everything's been for, Nathaniel. I wanted you here. It was fun, of course, to party with you. It's fun to inhabit another body. I'm thankful. I really am. But you see, you're the last living descendant. Yes. Yes, your ancestor really was a soldier in the Unknown Legion. And only a soldier of the Unknown Legion could take the banner and release the spell. Thank you. And she grabs your throat, your tongue, pulls you toward her, and gives you a kiss. And then she grabs the banner, holds it up, and breaks it. It shatters into 1,000 pieces, and the sky fills with thunder and light. And she tosses you aside.
Rosa, I miss you. Don't do this.
And she steps forward, stepping on your exposed throat, crushing the life out of you. She looks toward you, Farah, cocks her head, and asks, "So, are you here to challenge me? To try to stop me?"
Who are you?
I am the dead, the mother of all war. And I've been denied my right for so long. But now, I am free. Free to roam the lands once more. To raise my armies. To bring war to all corners of this world.
I didn't
No
have the
longer.
feeling. I didn't have the feeling you were these. You did not have. I had the feeling you had quite some pleasure in my home country.
Yes.
But maybe it's not true what you're saying. The mother of war? Never heard of this.
It was never possible to trap me entirely, of course. But the spell was powerful. I don't require your belief. If you do not wish to oppose me, then we can go. We can be as friends. I don't mind.
Well, I'm not convinced who you are, and I have no problem with you at the moment. So, go your way, I will do my quest, and I will leave.
So glad. I'm so glad. Farah.
How do you know
She
my
walks
name?
She walks closer. She smiles. And you can see in the sky above her images, flashes of your parents being killed by soldiers. Your brother eventually succumbing to the war as well. Starvation and famine. And you can see her pulling the strings. Pulling the strings behind all of the undead, all of the warlords, the warmongers of this land. She knows you intimately.
Okay, I changed my mind. Maybe we have a problem, and I just want to attack her.
Yes.
I don't know if you let defending be okay or not. As a role.
No. So, but you are free to describe how you fight to the death here against this insurmountable foe, and you can give us Farah's goodbye, Farah's final stand.
Well, she will just, she takes her own sword, the sword she has always used, the normal sword, which she is very used to wield. And she will just try to step or to maybe to make a slash to see how her opponent reacts and just engage a duel. But how I die, I don't know.
So, I think what happens is that you slash at her. There's you slash open her face. Large gash opens, and she smiles. Half her face dangles outside her body. She just turns her head and shows you the face. It's still smiling. You stab her in the chest again and again, pierces her until you finally are too tired to keep hold of your blade, too tired to even stand. And she smiles at you one final time, and just pushes you away gently to lie on the ground. And
Why can't I kill you?
She shakes her head. Poor child. You cannot kill war with a blade. Violence only makes me stronger. You know what? You can live. That'll be more fun. She walks off. Gregor, describe your final moments. You've seen the banner that you sought. You've seen it destroyed. You know the purpose of this war.
See the light before it fades. If everything he lost can be redeemed in one way, was that he were to knew the truth that the banner existed, the army existed, and at the very end, Francis was wrong. He was crushed beneath the god of war. How fitting. Francis, I was right. There he goes.
Unfortunately for Gregor, the history books have no mention of him except as a misguided historian. And Francis' story is what will remain. That is where we end today's session, with no happy endings.
Trophy. Hashtag trophy, isn't that what you say?